On the Cambridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network. From Learfield, welcome to the Varsity House BirdFeed on the Ball State Cambridge Network. Here is your host, Joel Godette.
All right, we are live here at the Embassy Suites in Montgomery, Alabama. This is the BirdFeed Live. It is Bowl Special Edition. Welcome to the Camellia Bowl, presented by TaxAct. This is the BirdFeed Live, presented by Varsity House. You can find us live on YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube. We are streaming on Facebook, on Twitter, and on the ISC Sports Network across all of the state of Indiana. Of course, we showed you a great shot of the wall to start things off. Rich Spizak, there are people watching you this time, so you have to be on your best behavior.
Yeah, we have. I can count them. I can count them on one hand. We have 5.
Well, I was talking about the people on the internet.
Oh,
yes,
on the internet. Excuse me.
There are 5 people in front of you watching. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That is Rich Spizak. My name is Joel Godette. Glad to have you along with. Over the course of the next hour or so, we will break down Ball State's appearance in this year's TaxAct Camellia Bowl. We will have a couple of guests. Offensive coordinator Kevin Lynch will join us. Defensive coordinator Tyler Stockton will join us. We'll have a couple of player guests as well. But Ball State makes an appearance in a bowl game for the second consecutive season. And, Rich, it's very exciting this year because as much as you and I both love Randy Stoops, we are not broadcasting the game from his showroom off of McGalliard this year, so it's good to be here in Montgomery.
Yeah, it was very nice of Randy to let us do that. But it's really nice to be here in Montgomery. They've been great hosts for this bowl. And I think the kids are looking forward to playing.
It's going to be interesting between a Ball State team that comes in 6-6 and a Georgia State team that is looking for quite literally its best season in school history. The Panthers are 7-5 right now. They are 6-2 in Sun Belt play. That's their best record in conference of all time. 8 wins would be their most in a season all time. Perspective, they've only been playing football for about a baker's dozen years right now, or a dozen years actually right now. So still a young program, a little wet behind the ears, but very good. They've been bowl eligible, and I don't mean that like 6 wins. I mean like actually eligible to be selected, like able to even get to 6 wins for 8 years. Of those 8 years, they have been truly bowl eligible 5 times. They've gone to a bowl all 5 of those years. So a young but very successful program. Speeds, what are the Cards up against?
Well, they're up against a very good team. This is not the same team that we played back in 2016 by no means. They're much improved. Coach Elliott's done a great job. They've got great athletic ability, good size, very athletic team. And I think the Cards, this team would compete very well in our conference and would be a top contender. So I think the Cards are in for a good game, and I think we're matched up well.
For people that listen to Rich Spizak talk sometimes, you get to know, like, turn of phrases that he has. I called you and I said Georgia State, and you go, this team now. And as soon as you said that, I went, okay, they're really good. What was it that jumped out to you when you saw Georgia State as the draw?
Well, I wasn't able to watch this team yet on tape, and we're going to do some of that tonight a little bit after this. But just on paper, when you look on paper and you look defensively, they got 84 tackles for loss, a number of quarterback hurries, 34 sacks. Their defense is very opportunistic and really caused a lot of disruption to your offense. So that's the first thing that stood out to me. And then when I looked at their offense, and they lost 2 key players, a quarterback and a running back that went into the transfer portal, and then they overcame that.
Yeah.
They overcame that with guys stepping up. So that says a lot for their team, their leadership. And they're just like us. They return a ton of super seniors. It's a very good football team. So that's right now, that's what jumped out at me as we did research on this team.
All right, I promised you 2 coordinators on this program. We do have one sitting here, but I meant 2 current coordinators, and we're going to start with Ball State's defensive coordinator to break things all down. Tyler Stockton joins us presently. Tyler, welcome to your second bowl appearance with the Ball State Cardinals.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody talks about the bowl experience, and you guys didn't get that last year with the Arizona Bowl because of COVID. You had some bowl experiences when you were a player, but what's it like now to get this experience with your guys and to watch them go through it?
It's just awesome to be here for the entire week and in the city of Montgomery and how well they treat us and doing all the cool little events and some of the historic sites that you get to see. It's very educational, and then you get to have some fun with your guys one last time before we kick it off on Saturday.
So we just went bowling. I may or may not have gone barefoot because that was what it was at the moment, and I might have fallen down. How did you do?
The very first game, Bmar beat me.
With not all his faculties.
Well, I think it's illegal that he had the balance properly with his foot, but he beat me the first game, then I beat him the second game. We didn't finish the third one, so we'll go back tomorrow morning to finish it off.
What have you enjoyed most of the things you guys have done? Like, I think the guys really got a lot out of the Rosa Parks Museum yesterday, which was really cool to see the history side of things and understanding kind of where they're coming from. What stood out to you?
I mean, obviously that was awesome experience for everybody. It was a lot of fun just to learn about the history of our country even more, things that you learned when you're young, but just even learn as an adult, it really brings perspective. But just biggest thing for me is just being able to hang out with everybody one last time, and you can just truly see how much this team cares about each other, how they conduct themselves, whether we're on the practice field or just hanging out here in the hotel.
Let's talk about Georgia State. What jumps out to you on film?
That they're going to run the ball over and over again until we stop it. So, I mean, that's been a point of emphasis for us for sure, and hopefully on Saturday we get that done. Very similar to Army, where that's what they hang their hat on. I mean, their head coach is an offensive line guy by trait, so you can just tell by the way those guys play that they're very physical up front, and their backs run downhill and try to run you over. They're not big trying to juke you out or anything like that. They're going to try to lower your shoulders and 3 to 4 yards and keep going over and over again.
So, Tyler, when you game plan for these guys, can you compare it with one of your other games this year? Which game would you compare to as far as some of the things that you're going to do defensively without giving away any secrets here?
Oh, absolutely.
But,
but if you want to tell us,
nobody's listening to this
absolutely.
anyway. So
that's a favorite line of yours, yeah.
From a thought process for the guys from a mentality standpoint, I really think it's very similar to Army, where you just got to have guys doing their jobs over and over again, getting all blocks and tackling. Even though it's not the triple option that we'll see, there's definitely some similarities there with their offense. And, I mean, just from a standpoint of athleticism, we see a lot of the guys in our conference that are very similar to these guys. I think their running back is one of the better running backs that we'll see all year.
Which one?
Tucker Gregg,
okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, number 21 is very athletic,
yeah.
But I think Mr. Gregg, you can just see him walking around some of the events that he's waiting for Saturday to try to run us over. So we got to bring our big boy pads for him for sure.
Army is still stinging from what you did to him defensively. I mean, really. And I don't know if anyone else has done what you did. Did you really do something unique, or was it just the effort of the guys that got it done?
Oh, it's definitely the effort of the guys.
Yeah.
And we started Army prep in the spring, so I think that had a lot to do with it, that the guys were prepared, and we did it in the springtime and the summer. So they were prepared for this game, and they knew how important this game was to this program, and we wanted to do a good job, and obviously executed well. So
they sure did. I mean,
next time
they
they'll
took
be ready
away,
for us even more.
Yeah, and you got to be really disciplined on defense when you play a team like
Absolutely.
that. And I imagine against this Georgia State team, it'll be the same way.
Absolutely.
Their quarterback, a guy by the name of Darren Granger, dual threat guy, he has gained 642 yards rushing this year. What are the mechanics of playing a dual threat quarterback? Like I clearly have never played a day of defensive line in my life. That is your expertise. When you, as a player, let's even start there, are getting ready for a dual threat quarterback, what is different in your day-to-day versus if you were going to see Peyton Manning?
I mean, it just adds a whole different dimension for the offense. I mean, if a team doesn't have an athletic quarterback, you can just focus on, all right, they're going to run the ball this way, and that's it. They're going to hand the ball off to the running back. Or when he drops back, we can pressure him a lot because knowing that he can't scramble around. With a guy like this, you got to be very, very sound, whether it's first, second, or third down. I mean, he has the ability to run the ball. We were watching film today, and it would make you sick as a defensive coach when it's 3rd and 20 and they pick up 24 yards. It's 1st and 20 and they pick up 27 yards on quarterback runs. So he's got an ability to, obviously he's a good thrower as well, but he's got an ability to create some issues with us with his legs, so we got to be prepared for that.
So are you going to have a guy spying on him, assigned to him a lot of the time? I mean, you always want to get a good rush, but sometimes a good rush could get you in trouble too, because with a guy like this. So, you're trying to get that good rush, but you got to have somebody holding back in case this guy takes off.
Yeah, I'll never forget when Vic Hall, our corners coach, when I was with him at Western Illinois, we went back and forth on whether to spy him or pressure. Yeah. He always said that he loved when people spy him because he knew he was probably more athletic than the guy that was spying him.
That's true.
Whether our guys want to hear it or not, this kid is a very good athlete, and he probably can outrun the person that we're going to be in charge of spying him. So we got to do a good job of mixing in some pressure, getting to his face, and making him make quick decisions, and obviously being able to tackle him in space as well.
Do you compare him with anybody in the MAC? Is there anybody in the MAC that would compare with this quarterback Ranger?
No. I mean, obviously the Finn kid from Toledo is athletic. I probably see him some very similarities to guys on our team that were running scout team quarterback for us, whether that was Darren McCulley or Kyle Kelly. I mean, he's a very good athlete.
Let's talk about tight end a little bit, Tyler. They use them a lot. They have actually I can't think of another time I've seen where they have 2 all-conference tight ends. There's only so many slots for that. How do they utilize them, and what does that do for you game plan-wise?
I mean, for them, it all starts with running the ball. And guys you can just see they're so committed to stopping the run that those guys do a great job of pretending to block and then getting out in the pass game, and that's what created a lot of big plays for them in the passing game, especially in the red zone. Both those 2 guys do an amazing job. So obviously you can say you got to stop the run and all that stuff, but if a pass goes for 20 yards, you're going to be in trouble as well. So we got to do a great job being on body in our coverages and eliminating a lot of things on Saturday.
I want to ask you about you guys a little bit because you get to this point in the season and you're enjoying the time with your guys. And let's start on the defensive line, because one of the things that I think is most remarkable about your team this season, and maybe this is a bad job by us, but the untold story for you guys is the amount of injuries you've battled through and the amount of next man up that has happened successfully. And I'm just thinking like Brock Burns, Jimmy Daw, Kyron Mims, Kendall Kendrick, who basically didn't play until 3 weeks ago. The list goes on and on for guys that you've missed at various points this season. What has impressed you most about guys that were 3rd, 4th on the depth chart and are now in legitimate roles and playing well at this point in the season?
I mean, Coach always talks about guys staying locked in, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come. And I think Coach McKenzie and Coach Conley do a great job with those guys, always preparing every single person in that room, because you, again, never know when your opportunity is going to come. And those guys obviously do a great job stepping in and stepping up when we needed them. Whether it's one play, 50 plays, Coach Conley, Coach McKenzie has done an amazing job preparing those guys.
Who maybe, and this is hard because you want to spotlight everybody, but who's had a really good season or been an unsung hero in that vein for you this year?
For the defensive line?
Yeah, or anywhere on the defense.
I mean,
it could be like a Malcolm Lee has stepped in.
I'll be selfish and go with Clayton.
Okay.
Because we obviously, B-More having the year that he had last year and having the expectations coming in when he got banged up. I mean, you really didn't know what you were going to get out of Clayton. Obviously, everyone had an idea that he can be a really good player, but just the way that he stepped in and the leadership role that he took on with his team was amazing, because he got better and better as a player, but he got better and better as a leader every single week as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention Clayton Call. You got to be really proud of him the way he played, because he stepped up, made a ton of tackles, and you hate to have Martin get hurt, obviously, because Clayton probably wouldn't have played as much, at all. And here you got a guy that really stepped up, and then you got Cole Pierce, who stepped up tremendously in that one game, and Thomas just had a whale of a year in the conference, I think. So, and they were recognized because of it. So you got to be really proud of those linebackers, the way they played.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Coach always jokes around and says, I try to get all the good players in my room. So
yeah, well, you do. You do. Yeah, the defense always does, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Lynch is over here, but he always gets stuck with the leftovers, and then the defense gets all the athletes.
Well, he had Brandon Martin at one point.
That is true. He let him go.
Oh, that's right. Brandon was a running back, and then Lynch couldn't coach him, and so they came over to your side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 33 on my mind next to get him over as well, so we'll see if that works.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, not yet.
We'll let Kevin defend himself here in a hot second.
Yeah, we'll get Kevin up here.
Tyler, last question, and we'll let you go. You guys have 32 seniors. Some of the most impactful are on the defensive side of the ball from a leadership standpoint. I mean, that's not fair. They're on both sides of the ball, but I think seniors, Jalen Thomas, Brandon Martin, Bryce Cosby. I don't even know if you want to think about this, but what is it going to be like when you walk into the meeting room for the first time in whenever that is, and those guys aren't there? Is that a weird feeling when you're just expecting Bryce to say something and he's not there?
No, because I know these guys are going to leave this place better than they found it, and that the younger guys, whether it's going to be right away or in the summertime or years from now, but eventually they're going to figure it out because of the way these guys have conducted themselves since they've been here. So, of course, it stinks for all those guys to leave, but they carry themselves the right way that all the younger guys, especially on defense, knows what it takes to obviously get to the championship game and make this program what it is today.
Tyler, appreciate the time. Enjoy your Christmas tomorrow, your Christmas Eve tomorrow with your team, and then best of luck on Christmas Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you,
luck.
guys. Appreciate
good luck,
it.
Tyler.
Thank you.
That is Tyler Stockton joining us here. This is the BirdFeed Live coming at you, the special edition from Montgomery, Alabama, as we preview the Camellia Bowl, Ball State and Georgia State. That is Saturday at 1:30 local time, 2:30 Eastern time. You can catch it on ESPN, or you can catch us on 104.1 WLBC and the rest of the Gainbridge Cards Radio Network. Kevin Lynch does slide in now next to us as we turn our attention to the offensive side of things. And all right, Kevin Lynch, we'll start with the self-defense here.
Yeah, sorry, I got to fix my headset. He's got a big head.
Yeah, you got it on right. You're good.
Good.
What happened? You couldn't coach Brandon Martin? Like, what? You're going to let Spizak back the bus up, or what? Like, what are we doing here?
No, that wasn't it at all.
No,
that wasn't it at all.
Brandon's awesome.
Yeah.
He was going to play a lot for us on offense too.
Yeah.
But at the time we were pretty loaded at running back, and he was kind of going to play a fullback role / running back. And it was one of those where he'd probably play 25, 30 snaps on offense, and he was going to play about 80 on defense. So it obviously worked out for him and worked out for us.
Worked out for 33 this year, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you guys expected a lot out of Carson Steele as a freshman, but did you expect this?
You never expect a freshman to be that productive that early. I knew he was really talented. I knew that we got a really good player, and you hear all the great things about him coming from his high school coaches and people in the community, and obviously being so close to us. We followed him for a while, but he was just ready to go as soon as he got there, and never seemed to be too fast for him or too big for him. He was ready to go right away.
You look at Georgia State. We'll talk about the opponent first and then work from there. What stands out to you? Rich mentioned it off the top. They have 84 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
How do they get there, and what concern does that bring for you?
Well, they're really quick and athletic. They're not overly big like some of the teams we've seen, but they got a lot of experience. They got a lot of experience in the back end, I think, which helps them at times up front, and especially the last couple of weeks. I think they got 11 sacks in the last 2 games. But they're very similar to Army's defense. If you can think back to that. Their defensive coordinator actually has some history with Army's defensive coordinator, so we're seeing a front like that, which was really challenging to run the ball against that we knew going into. And they just do a lot of good things, movement up front and try to penetrate gaps and get you in the backfield.
I ate lunch today at the luncheon with all the linemen.
Oh, yeah.
And Plitt.
Okay.
Drew's smart. He doesn't eat with the receivers. He eats with the linemen.
That is smart.
And those are the guys that protect him. But anyway, I asked those guys, I said, what do you think of this defense? What stands out? And I said, which one is their best defensive lineman? They said, they all do certain things well.
Yeah.
Just like you mentioned, they move.
Yes.
So they were saying the exact same things that you're saying, Kevin, about this defense. And it's a very aggressive defense that, they make a lot of negative plays, which is disruptive for an offense.
Yeah, they got the other thing I'd say that stands out to them, they have a lot of guys. They play a lot of guys up front, which usually this time of the season you don't see that as much. You know what I mean? People get banged up and whatnot, and you don't have as many guys. But they got a kid, 47 and 10, that play a lot on the edge, that do a good job. The best player to me is probably number 1, who plays an outside linebacker. I know he's got some tackles for loss, but he's also a guy just disruptive. Always around the line of scrimmage, always around the ball. He's a really good player, you'll see. making a lot of plays for him.
It's John Trey Hunter, for those keeping track at home, is number 1 out of Tampa, Florida. He was the defensive player of the game in their last bowl appearance in 2020 at the Lending Tree Bowl as well, so quite prophetic there.
Yeah.
Kevin Lynch. What do you do? I talked to Drew Plitt about this for the pregame show that will air on Saturday. When you get a team that is that aggressive, that is that in the backfield that often, I don't know, how does that change your game plan? Isn't necessarily the right way to say it, but what do you do that is different when you have to be cognizant of the fact that they're really good in that area?
Yeah, I think a couple things. Number one, when you run the ball, you can't get frustrated if you're not ripping off big runs all the time, because everything they do is designed to try to create negative plays. So cliche, but the key is to not go backwards and not get into 3rd and long. That's when they get really excited. If you can get into some 3rd and mediums, and the teams that have had success against them have been very good on 3rd down because they've got it to 3rd and medium and been able to run it or throw it, you know what I mean, which is big. The other thing with them is they're not a huge blitz team, but when they do, just having a good protection plan for that. So we're going to do a couple of things with that, and hopefully that helps us, just stay on the field, because that's the big thing.
Game plan wise, I don't want you to give away too many secrets, but you got some time. Like during the course of the season, you have a week to get ready for the next opponent, and probably a little bit more. You guys work ahead, but now you've got a month. How creative do you guys get in the offensive meeting room, saying like, all right, we got some time to try this thing. Maybe we're going to break this out, or maybe we'll add this wrinkle. Like, how much stuff that you might typically do in an off season gets worked in over this month of prep?
We'll have a couple things, I think, that are a little bit different for sure. But you try not to get too creative or too crazy, if you will.
You know what we used to say, you don't want to get too smart.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you get too smart and you outsmart yourself.
You also got to think, too, when you're practicing, you have all that extra time. You're battling finals. You're battling all these other things that you don't want to throw a bunch of stuff on their plate. So a lot of the practices that we did leading up to it were very base practices, or what we kind of called fundamental days, where we were running plays and things of that nature, but maybe focusing more on individual and some of the stuff that you don't get quite as much time once the season starts. And then obviously got to play some of the young guys and get some extra reps that they didn't get during the season. So it'll look like a Ball State offense for sure, but sure, there's a couple things that we feel like we're able to watch and pick up on, and maybe watch a couple extra games that you don't necessarily get to do that hopefully can help us out.
You know, with your dad being a coach and a great one, and then your brother Joe at Vanderbilt, they ever given you tips, on, hey, Kevin, you should have done this, or, Kevin, what are you doing here? Kevin, you should have.
Or does Billy watch games, too, now that he's
and then
out?
Bill, you got Billy, too, who was a coach for a long time.
Run the ball.
Well, that's me. I'm telling you that every week. But I'm talking about the relatives, the family.
No, for sure. Absolutely. Mostly good, obviously.
Yeah.
They'll always make you feel good about that. But it's hard, you don't get to watch Vanderbilt much, or him vice versa, but obviously you're always following it, which is cool. But no, it's been good with my dad retired. I think he came to every home game this year. So, and I know he didn't miss any on TV or whatnot. So, no, definitely get a sounding board. And he comes to practice quite a bit too, so he kind of knows what we're doing.
More importantly, what does Will tell you about what you guys should do?
He's got all the answers. Just ask him. He's probably up there somewhere. He's got a lot of answers, that's for sure.
While we're on the subject of your family, this is Christmas week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. You guys are the only college football game being played on Christmas Day. A lot of people have talked about football and family and what it's like to spend the holiday with your football family. Do you have any football-related Christmas memories from all of your years being in a coaching family?
Yeah, it's funny. You're kind of talking about it. It is a unique deal with it being Christmas, and then, is my family going to come or they're not? Obviously, they wanted to, and my son is going to be 7 in February, and, obviously he wanted to go to the bowl game, and he told my wife, I've never even been to a bowl game. I said, all right, and I thought about it. I said, my first bowl game, I was 7. I think it was around Christmas time, too, so I said, yeah, you definitely got to go.
What did his other 2 siblings think about the fact that he talked them into this trip?
Yeah, they're good. They don't know what's going on.
So, yeah. Listen. Joel and I were at the zoo with all the kids.
Yeah.
And a couple of them said, this is the best day
We should preface
that.
That makes it sound like we went to the zoo with the kids.
Yeah.
They had a great time. Now, your wife wasn't having a great time because she had to corral them all.
But,
But other than that, the kids are having a fantastic
it's
time.
awesome. These experiences are stuff that you can remember. And I can remember that, obviously, being a kid growing up in a coaching family. I remember probably going to bowl trips more than anything else of those times. And it's a lot of little things. You're around the other coaches' kids' families and around the players and seeing them interact. It goes a long, long way. I can remember a lot of different experiences. One being at Ball State in the Las Vegas Bowl, and then a couple at Indiana.
Kevin used to hold our chain.
Yeah,
hold
right.
I was going to get there.
You got to think back now. When we had phones, they weren't wireless. We had wires that went all the way up and down the sideline. So Kevin and Joey, my son Brian, they were card holders.
It's an important job.
In Vegas, was this
for Bill and Bart? And
my dad had a rule I wasn't allowed on the sideline until we were 12. So I had to wait till then.
And a lot of that had to do with bad language and things that were said. But
or big people running into
big people running into it. So anyway, Kevin did a great job. Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
I will say on the zoo thing, when we went to the zoo, we did ask the kids walking in. I said, Lucy, what do you want to see? She goes, deers.
Yeah. Well, she's very, she's not there yet from the English language. But
well, no, I just meant
who wants to see a deer though at the zoo?
At the zoo.
Yeah,
that's what I.
That's all right. That's all right. Did they see any? Probably not.
There was like an antelope-ish thing.
There you go.
Which was, ballpark. I think that really checked the box.
That's good. I like it.
When you look at the course of the season for you guys this year, what has impressed you most about the progression of the offense through the ups and downs of the year?
Yeah, obviously that's the first thing you'd say, some ups and downs of the year. We didn't really start the way we'd hoped or didn't really start the way we expected. And then, a lot of different factors go into that. But, everybody has injuries. Everybody has these different adversity things that happen. I always felt like our guys were always ready for that next challenge, I kind of go into really when we kind of turned the corner offensively, and I'd go to that Army game. We kind of just started off a little bit slow, and we had a lot of different offensive line groupings with some of the injuries and things, and it seems like we kind of clicked. Now, you play in a game like that, and you only run about 40-some plays due to the fact of what they do offensively, but you could just tell we were kind of clicking, and we played physical, and things were starting to go that direction, and then really rattled off 3 straight great games, and then really played consistent to me the rest of the year.
Yeah, I really thought that ball game, you didn't put up big numbers that game, if I recall.
No,
but
absolutely.
You were very efficient.
Yes.
You were very efficient, and the defense was outstanding.
Yes.
Which they had to be.
Absolutely.
And you did just enough to get the job done.
Yeah,
and you were efficient to drive the ball and keep it out of their hands, and it was a very good ball game. Most people wouldn't think that because the numbers weren't
No,
big.
that was kind of one of those games where you watch the tape and you have a plan of what you think it's going to be, and exactly what we thought was going to happen happened.
Yeah.
The one thing I think through especially the games that we've been successful is we've played really good complementary football. We know we have a good defense, and we got to play to that as well. And sometimes it's not always about throwing for this many yards or running for that many yards. You got to make sure that you're getting first downs and you're keeping them off the field to a point. But when you are having to punt, you're punting on the other side of the 50 and making teams go a long way because I go back to our last game. It's kind of what happened to us, and, our defense forces 4 turnovers, and, they're never really in the game because of how well we played on defense, and we did enough to win the game.
Kevin, thanks for sitting down and chatting with us. Always good to catch up with you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your Christmas Eve. Enjoy the rest of the prep.
Thank you.
Try to get some sleep.
Yeah, we'll do. Appreciate it.
Kevin Lynch, Ball State's offensive coordinator, joining us. We'll take a timeout. We will continue with the BirdFeed Live. It is the Bowl Preview Edition from here at the Embassy Suites in Montgomery. This is the Varsity House BirdFeed Live on the ISC Sports Network on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. We're back next after you hear this.
Your financial peace of mind is behind everything we do, no matter where you are or where you're going. That's why we created Affinity Checking, 3 accounts designed to fit your life with all the essentials you expect, plus benefits that grow along with our relationship. Our team will help you find the right account and personally follow up to ensure you're happy. Affinity Checking, just another way Northwest helps increase the value of you. Northwest Bank is member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whether you're injured or just plain sick, Community now offers Connect to Care. With one call or online click, we'll find you the closest open appointment. That could be a med check, a primary care doctor, or a virtual visit right on your screen. At the most inconvenient time, Connect to Care is mighty convenient. Just call 765-298-1400 and a community concierge will locate options and make your appointment. Or you can search and set an appointment yourself. Our website is always open. Visit ecommunity.com/connect. The quickest route to feeling better starts with us.
Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
All right, this is the BirdFeed Live presented by Varsity House, streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on the ISC Sports Network across the state of Indiana. We welcome you back to the Embassy Suites here in Montgomery, Alabama. That is Rich Spizak to my right. I think your left if you're watching this at home. Christian Albright joins us presently as well. He is Ball State's senior outside linebacker. Welcome to Montgomery, Christian. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thanks for having me.
What has this bowl experience been like for you?
Man, it's been great, man. Just getting another opportunity to be around your brothers and stuff because, as most people know, we didn't really know if we would have a bowl game until they added in a new one. So just getting to be here and spend some more time with your brothers that you've just gone through everything with these past couple of years. So it's been great. I think everybody's enjoyed being down here.
What was that waiting game like for you guys of finding out the moment you were going to come down here to Montgomery?
It was tough because, we still had practices and stuff, and we were still lifting and being around each other, but just with so much uncertainty, it was definitely tough because everybody wanted to have another chance to get back out there on the field and play with each other, but, we just didn't know, and we really couldn't do nothing except wait, so it was definitely tough.
So, Christian, as the season progressed, and you've been a force on defense for a long time, are you happy with the way you've played this year, this season, or do you think you got more left in you?
Just the competitor in me, I'm always think I can give more, even if I had a great game. People say I had a great game. Just the competitor in me, there's going to always be at least one or two plays that you could have made. But I just try to do my best in terms of helping the whole defense and really just trying to help us succeed, whatever I need to do for to help the coaches or to help the other players around me. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the way I played this year.
Are you going to be lined up on that 5-time all-conference tackle, Gilmore?
Yeah.
Are you going to be on him?
Yeah.
So you got some things planned to take care of that?
Yeah.
You got any special games in for you, or any special blitzes? Or
I ain't gonna get into
you
the
can't
game.
get into that. All right.
Yeah.
But you're going to be on him one-on-one a lot.
Yeah.
So number 9 against number 75, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a good
So
player.
you got to beat him, aren't you?
Yeah.
And he's a good one.
Yeah. He's a very good player. Yeah.
5-time all-conference player. That's pretty
That's
good.
impressive.
So we're going to be watching this from upstairs.
Literally impossible until this year.
Well, until this year.
Yeah. Him and Justin Hall are probably the only ones I've ever heard
Because
of.
we've seen you do a lot from up there, and getting by guys, and looking forward to seeing that Saturday.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Christian, you're from Georgia.
Yep.
Is there some cool serendipity to the fact that your career is ending against Georgia State?
It actually is because coming out of high school, no Georgia teams offered me. I'm from Kennesaw, Georgia, and even Kennesaw State offered me. And
they didn't even have football yet. They were in the very beginning years.
Yeah, they had just started the program, and my house is 5-7 minutes away from their stadium.
So this is personal.
Yeah, I'm right in their backyard. But it is what it is. I'm glad I'm ended up at Ball State. Had a good career.
So why'd you come to Ball State from Georgia? That's a long way.
Really,
what sold you on it?
The players. When I came up here on my official visit, the players that was on the official with me, we all just gelled so quickly. It was you would have thought we had known each other for the longest already, and that was our first weekend meeting each other. So I knew that was the guys I just wanted to go through college with and really just go through this whole experience with.
So who was your host when you came in?
My host was Kevin Willis. He graduated in 2017.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Willis. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep.
What's this experience been like for you in that has it lived up to everything you wanted it to be? And when you look back on it, what have these 5 years meant to you?
They meant a whole lot. Being that far from home, it's tough at times because, I just can't get in the car and just drive home 3-4 hours like some of my teammates can. So just being, like I said, the bond that we created, it definitely helped me get through that because, like I said, having to miss some holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas some years, it was tough being away from family that first time. But like I said, being up here with my guys, then the bond we created is just family forever. Like, I wouldn't trade them guys for the world. And it's been a great 5 years. I mean, it started out tough. It started out very tough, but I mean, we made the most of it, and then of course winning conference last year in 2020, it just made everything seem like it was worth it. So yeah, that was a great experience.
So Christian, what's your plan now? At the end of this year, you'll graduate. Am I correct?
Yep.
And so what's your plan after that?
Start training and take my shot at the NFL.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Christian, talk to me a little bit about what this year has been like for you guys, because you guys all came in, and the mantra and the mentality was run it back, and we went 7-1 last year, won the first bowl game, won the MAC championship, first time in 24 years. When I had this conversation with Drew earlier today, and we'll air that pregame Saturday, when things did not go the way that you wanted them to, and the idea, Justin said preseason, we all came back this year because we had these loftier goals. We wanted bigger and better. We wanted to blow last year out of the water. When that didn't happen, how were you guys able to refocus and reset and still drive to get to this point? And in some ways, is the ending of this season almost more rewarding than even last year because of what you had to go through and how you fought and how you persevered and how you were able to still get here?
Yeah, for sure. This year's definitely been tough. Really, just looking at all the injuries we've had. That's one thing we were blessed with last year. We didn't have many injuries offensively or defensively, but then this year we ran into a lot of injuries and didn't start off hot at all. So, that was real tough because, like you said, the expectations we had this year were so high. So, yeah, it was definitely tough. But Coach New just kept preaching to us, just keep working, keep your head down, and just keep grinding. And as I mentioned to earlier, we started out when we first came into this program. We went through some tough times. So I think really just looking back at that, because, I mean, we just had to keep working back then, and it was the same thing here when we started out 1-3. It's like, okay, we just got to keep working. We can either put our heads down and forward and finish the season 1-11. That was a real possibility, or just keep working and get back on track like we know we can.
That said, how proud are you of this season based on that? Because, you should be, because what you guys did and the way that you rallied, and then you had to win the Buffalo game, and you did that. You guys answered challenges this year, and you should be really proud of that.
Yeah, for sure. We had to fight through a lot of adversity. So, yeah, just seeing what all we went through this season is definitely rewarding. Being here and making it to a bowl game, and hopefully getting the two bowl wins in a row, which I don't think has ever been done in the program. So, yeah, it's definitely been rewarding.
What have you enjoyed about the experience? You've been here for almost a week. What have you done in Montgomery that you've really liked?
I really liked the Rosa Parks Museum. That was really good, getting to see that, and just being there with your teammates. And a lot of them aren't from this area, so them getting that experience to learn and hopefully just see what people went through in the South back in those times. That's very great to see, and really just being around your teammates, man. It's just been great. We've been able to do everything together. Breakfast, lunch. We went bowling today.
Strikes.
Spares. Yeah, a little bit. Some folks did better than others.
7-10 splits.
Oh no, I ain't hitting those.
How'd you do in the gift suite?
Oh yeah, that was great. I got a little massage gun and then a little speaker for myself.
That's well done.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you got for Christian?
Well, Christian, we're looking forward to seeing you in the backfield tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You're due for one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like a big game.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 tackles for loss, couple sacks, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's what it's going to take. This is a good ball club coming.
Oh, yeah.
Good running backs and good offensive line, pretty good receivers. I mean, this is a pretty good club, and I'm sure you guys are going to rise to the occasion. So good luck tomorrow. We wish you the best.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Christian Albright joining us here on the BirdFeed Live. Christian, congrats on a great career. Best of luck on Saturday.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that is Christian Albright joining us here as Spees will bring things back to the two of us here to break things down and look forward towards Saturday. Are you more hyped up than ever for right now after listening to everybody talk about it?
Oh, yeah. You spend so much time here before the game that, I know as a player and a coach, players especially, you can't wait to get on the field and just play, right?
Yeah.
because of all the other stuff you have to do and the lunches and the gatherings and things. So, yeah, I think, we're excited, but the players and coaches are really excited to get out there and see what they can do.
All right, so there's one more thing before we get going. I was going to do this on Saturday, but then I got to carry it around for 2 more days. And on top of that, there's people around and they can see you. And this is web streamed, so people can see you here as well. For those that don't know, Rich Spizak joined me as my partner on radio in my 3rd year. So this is his 8th season here at Ball State.
Yeah.
You said to me before the year, 8th season on the radio, like 40th year at Ball State all told. But you said to me before the season that this was going to be your last year full-time on the radio, and I'm still trying to talk you out of it. We haven't talked about it a lot this season. But
you'll have to talk to my wife about that. So I think I'm too far in to back out. But, no, it's been a great 8 years, Joel, with you. And you're a true professional, and I enjoyed working with you. And, I really enjoyed doing it. It's a lot of work. But it's enjoyable, but it's time for someone new to get in here and kind of frustrate you a little bit and work with you. But no, I really enjoyed it, and and you got to promise me one thing: that when you make it big, really make it big, and you're doing the Dodgers games or Chicago Cubs, you get me up in the suite, would you? Just for one.
I will say my favorite thing about Rich Spizak, though, every time. Anytime we get like a polo or something, it's always like, hey, how do we get one of these? So I would expect.
Yeah, they're tougher to get
that's
now.
True.
Yeah,
I would expect nothing less, and I will.
Oh my God! Here comes Santa Claus right now.
I will. There we go. Rich
That's about time,
Look at this.
Cody.
Look at that. We got. But
that's what you get for 8 years, right here.
No, this is actually what you get for 8 years. So, Rich Spizak, this is.
Oh my gosh! How am I going to get that home?
This is for that's
thank you.
This is for you for your years of service here to the Ball State Radio Network. That is
is that very nice?
That's a pregame game ball for the Camellia Bowl on Saturday to Rich Spizak for your time here on radio. Sir, it has been all my pleasure. Thank you for saying yes when we asked 8 years ago, and I'm looking forward to one more with you.
Well, thank you. See what happens when you get old, Albright? You get a ball. You know what I mean? No, that's it. I appreciate this. Really do. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you. Yep.
That does it, though, for us here on this edition of the BirdFeed Live. Many thanks to Christian Albright, to Tyler Stockton, to Kevin Lynch for joining us as well. Looking forward to the Camellia Bowl coming your way on Saturday. It'll be Ball State and Georgia State. That is a 1:30 kickoff local time, 2:30 kickoff Eastern time, a 12:30 countdown to kickoff, 1:30 countdown to kickoff Eastern time on 104.1 and the Cardinals Gainbridge Radio Network. Until Saturday, so long from here in Montgomery. This has been the BirdFeed Live presented by Varsity House, streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and across the state of Indiana on the ISC Sports Network. Good night, everybody, from Montgomery.
This was the Varsity House Bird Feed on the Ball State Gainbridge Network.